Justin, could you update on the news? Who said we don't need a centre-back? The club. The club have said we don't need a centre-back. I just read out the bit from Sky. And again, I can read that out and name the journalist because he's put it out into the world. But I've spoken to 3 other journalists today, and every single one of them has been gobsmacked that that's what they've been briefed. Now, even if you think the club are being coy, or that maybe the club are just trying to pull a fast one here, where's the plan? Where's the plan? Because any pretense that there is a plan is surely gone now. You know, is the plan to make sure that you do everything in 3 weeks of a window and give the manager as little time as possible to work with players? Is that the plan? Because it doesn't sound like much of a plan. Where's the data-led recruitment policy? Where's the geniuses that have been brought in, have been the best in their field? What are they doing? Apart from swanning around America, what are they doing? Absolutely nothing. It's a disgrace, and Iriola is being set up to fail. And it's not good enough. DW said FSG only caring about selling 30% of pocket and money. We're being let down drastically. Yesterday I saw that Leeds have a better squad than us. There's so many clubs that are just doing so much more business and spending more money than Liverpool. And yet there are people out there that still try to back these owners and say that they're doing the best they can. Really? Because if we end up in the Europa League, is that going to be great? Are we all going to enjoy that? Will that attract the players we need to push this club on? What have they done this window? Ask yourselves, what have they done? The Xhaka deal was done in January. Victor Munoz was done last minute, and Liverpool came in and obviously triggered the release clause there for just under 35 million quid. And that's been it. That's it. Where is the right back that we were promised we weren't going into the season without only a couple of weeks ago? Where's the centre back? Where's the second winger? Where's the multifaceted attacker? Where are any of these players or links to any of them except Barcola? There's no plan. Don't believe it. There is no plan. Because if there was a plan, it would have been executed or partly executed by now. What we have is a bunch of people running around behind the scenes, waiting for something to jump into their lap, or absolutely waiting for a miracle. I don't know, but it isn't a well thought out process. And these people that once again have been lauded and praised to within an inch of their lives are shafting everybody, doing fuck all, and just swanning off into their next job. Well, you and I and Iriola and the players and every other Liverpool fan around the world are going to have to sit through the consequences of their inaction. Embrace Gaming said, who said we don't need a centre-back? The club, like I keep saying, the club. You see Mark McAdam saying there what he was briefed. I don't want to throw journalists under a bus by naming other ones because they haven't come out publicly with it, and I don't want to get them into any trouble. But I can tell you, I've spoken to some, they ain't happy. They ain't happy with this window, they ain't happy with the lack of activity, and they know damn well that the season's going to come off the rails. It's crazy. And again, folks, remember, 11 players have 1 year to go. 11. So ask yourself, where is the succession planning? Where is the train of thought that makes this rational? There isn't one. It doesn't exist. There's no way to justify letting 11 players get into the last year of their deal. There's no way to justify letting Canade, Robertson, Salah depart and not replacing them. Every time we look at an option, the cheap option is the one FSG look at. Get rid of Robbo, so try to tell us that Costas is all of a sudden good enough. The guy you tried to sell out of the club last year now is good enough. All of a sudden. Doesn't have anything to do with the fact that it's a cheap option. It's that we're supposed to believe that. Come on. Use your logic. It doesn't make sense. Akko. I remember 4 years ago you predicted FSG would get to the point where fans get so toxic everybody eventually wants them gone. Surely we aren't far off that. So what's really difficult for me here, mate, is all I see when people comment is a name. I don't know a lot of people personally, and I don't know if they're on the level or not. But I find it very, very difficult to believe that there's anybody rationally out there that thinks wholeheartedly and honestly that Liverpool's been run to the best of the owner's ability and that every effort is being made to strengthen the squad. I'm a logical person, and I don't understand how you can look at this situation and think that. Okay, fair enough, you might get 1 or 2 late moves in the window. But none of that screams forward planning, does it? None of it. It doesn't make sense. Don't buy into it. Don't get led into that fucking falsehood, because that's all it is. And then, of course, every single year, the same thing happens. The window will close and the lies will start. Liverpool are preparing everything for a huge summer next summer. And guess what? Next summer will come around and the excuses will come again. Even our biggest window, the one that everybody loves to remind us about, we were still outspent by Arsenal. Remember that. That's the truth of it. That's the fact. Absolute spoofers of owners who don't give a shite. We don't have space in the squad after Barcola. Are you for real? Like, is that actually for real? How do we not have space in the squad? How are we making that one up? If you're talking about overseas places, I can get rid of a few of them really easy for you. Chiesa, bye-bye, mate, not good enough. Costas, bye-bye, mate, not good enough. Look, I freed up 2 for you already. See? It's very easy, this, mate. But I refuse to be led to believe that these guys are good enough when they clearly aren't good enough. I want my club to succeed. I want our manager to succeed. I don't want him getting scapegoated because the owners are cheap. And that's what's happening here. It's times like these I'm grateful Facebook isn't my entire identity, genuinely considering stepping away from next season to avoid the predictable train wreck. It's so bad, man. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, I'm devastated at the way this window's panning out. It's almost like they're punishing us for having to sack Slot because they actually had to go and do something and make a proactive decision and pay him out. So what? We get nothing now. You let Salah go a year early by ripping up his contract. You got led down the garden path by Diamonde's agent. You shit the bed with Zubamendi. And what? This is it? This is the well thought out, well articulated plan led by data driven recruitment? Anybody can do nothing. It doesn't take bravery to do nothing. Mr. Monkstown Glass, how are you, sir? Star Replier said, if I was Iriola, I'd say sign a centre-back or I resign. It really is baffling, isn't it? You know, like he comes in, says straight away, I don't know how many signings we need, but I know we need a winger. And then he says we know we need defenders. And now he's trying to say that Frimpong might have been an overload. So maybe pre-season was a bit too hard on him. Gomez, the one that again, we're trying to lead to believe it's a 4 or 6 week problem before it's all fixed up again. He won't last the season. He won't be able to play 2 games a week. Joe's going to pick up another injury. No surer thing than that. Leone coming back from an ACL shouldn't even be expected to get back to his best level this season. And Xhaka, we haven't seen kick a ball yet. The lad that we were told was fit when he was coming in has now missed the first 3 games of pre-season and hasn't kicked the ball. So what? Gravenberch and Endo. That's what the club are briefing, by the way. Not making this up. You can go and ask journalists. They're briefing that Gravenberch and Endo can play at centre-back if we're stuck. That's what we're getting. Gravenberch or Endo. Endo, by the way, who hasn't played a minute and isn't fit either. That's what we're getting. The DM that isn't a DM can also not be a centre-back. That's it. It's absolute insanity.